Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, broadcasting to you live on the Dallas KFXR 1190 AM Clear Channel Studios and streaming to you on the iHeartRadio app as well as YorbaMedia.com. I've got Nick Santiago, President, CEO in the Money Stocks with me now. Nick, welcome back.
Great to be back, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm very pleased that you're here on the show today. Hey, listen, the transportations, last time I looked, they're down about 140 or something of that nature, some ungodly number. And you want to start off with American Airlines?
Yeah, I wanted to start off with American Airlines. Last time I was on your show, in fact, I talked about United Airlines, and I said this stock is getting poised to go down. And I said on your program, in fact, all the airlines are getting poised to move lower. And that was just about a week ago. And you see the big sell-off in American today. The stock still has more downside to go. I think traders can look for probably a short-term bounce around the $37 level. It's currently trading at around $39.90 at the moment. So there's still more downside in these airline stocks. And I think American, which has been very, very strong in 2014, is finally staging a little bit of a correction here.
Okay. All right. 37. Short-term bounce, though. That's just like a profit-taking position on a longer-term trade is what I'm hearing.
Right. Well, ultimately, if that level fails to hold at 37, which I think it will merit a 3-point bounce or so, but if price does come back down there and it doesn't hold that level any longer, there could be a bigger correction in the cards for American, and that's where the stock could trade probably down to 26, maybe even $25.
Okay. All right. Duly noted. And then you had Delta Airlines, DAL.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Delta because this was a trade that we did, my partner put out, and what he did was, it was very smart. We have a calculator now on our website that can calculate price targets and where price resistance levels will come in, and the stock was very, very extended on a monthly chart. If you just take a look at a monthly chart of Delta, you'll see how this thing went parabolic, and that type of pattern is not sustainable in the marketplace. So we basically bought puts on Delta Airlines at around $42, and those puts are already up about 85%.
Were you doing at the monies, or did you go out of the money?
We went slightly out of the money, but very close to in the money.
Wow. Oh, okay. Same situation, short-term bounce, and then potential...
Yeah, same situation. This stock will have some support around $36.40. If that level fails to hold, I suspect it will hold initially. But if it fails to hold, Delta could trade down to $27.
Okay. All right. Two very, very nice trades.
So we're going to look for pattern. Again, if we get a bearish pattern at that $37 area, we will look to short that.
All right.
But it all depends on the pattern.
Okay. Yes, of course. You, RRC, Range Resources.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this one up today because this stock really sold off sharply. Now, the stock has a lot of support in this $86 area, but I think this is a stock that traders can keep on their radar for some kind of sideways consolidation, meaning if the pattern just goes sideways, basically around the $87.50 to $88 level for about a week or two, that could be setting up for more downside, I think, ultimately into the $80 area. So this is a stock that I'm going to keep on my radar over the next couple of weeks to look to short if the pattern presents itself. And I think this is a strong candidate for a bearish pattern.
Okay. All right. Lululemon, L-U-L-U.
Yeah, this is one that I talked about on your program when the stock was, somewhere in the 50s. I said this stock is going to go down to around 40, possibly a little bit lower than $40, and here we are. It's at $37 now and 30 cents.
Yeah, about a low of 32. Really got slammed today.
Yeah, I mean, the stock has gotten hammered, but we're going to be looking to buy this equity around $32.80. So
Okay.
Keep that on your radar. We get this down there. Right now it's at $37.31. If it gets down to $32.85, we're going to look to pick this up for a bounce. But lower prices are ahead for Lululemon.
All right. And now another one in the transportation area, Boeing.
Yeah, Boeing stock has been taking on the chin the last 4 trading sessions. This should have downside to around the 129 level.
Ooh.
Yeah, so right now it's at 131.85, but expect Boeing to move down to around 129. That's where I think traders that are short-term can get in there for a daily chart bounce for about 3 to 5 days. Ultimate target on Boeing, though, believe it or not, is 116.
Ooh.
So we're going to look for the bounce, and we're going to look to get short again, and we're going to look to trade this down to 116.
All right, it was just a 138 some 4 days ago. There's got to be something seriously wrong with Boeing for it to go from 138 to 116 in a fairly short period of time.
Yeah, I mean,
I know we're technicians, but man, that's a huge move.
That 138 level, though, told us that that was going to be major resistance, and it's playing out. So we're going to look for this to ultimately come down to 129, make a bearish pattern, and then the next level is 116.
Okay. All right. You've got all kinds of elbow room here before we close the segment. So first tell me what happened in the trading room this morning. How'd that go?
We had a blockbuster trading day. I'm telling you, Michael, today was a blockbuster trading day. We had the volatility was back. It's been very, very light as of late. We traded the airline stocks, I believe, 3 times today. I personally traded them five different times today between 3 airlines, United, American, and Delta, all for winning trades. We had S&P trades out here. I mean, it was just, we had a Boeing trade. This afternoon, we traded TBT. Altogether today, I have 8 winning trades and no losses.
Whoa. 8 no.
8 no.
Wonderful. All right. As usual, I'm going to ask you about J.P. Morgan. You've been bearish on the stock market for a while. You haven't. I'm not saying you traded it, but you've been warning everybody for a while. Hey, could be a big problem coming up in 2014. Let's start with J.P. Morgan, then we'll move on to the S&P. Tell me what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Well, first off, as you know, I told on your program, I said J.P. Morgan will have support at 53. That's where traders can look for the bounce, and you can see that got down there on May 16th. It actually went to 52.97. $52.97. We've had a good bounce. And last week on your program, I said I'm showing a lot of resistance for J.P. Morgan at $58, and it got up to $57.94. And now we're starting to pull back. So right now, the big test, I think JPM is just going to be in a range between this $58 level and $53 level. There's no real pattern here yet, but we're watching for one, and as it develops, I think if J.P. Morgan breaks, and there's a fair chance that that could happen in 2014, we could see this stock actually trade down to $40.
Okay. All right.
So it's just all about pattern now. It's just a waiting period, waiting for this market to give us a signal, and then I believe, this stock can actually break.
Okay, I believe it can too. I've been getting a lot of people that have been on the show, talking about a top here and getting a lot of pushback about this occurring. But we finally started to roll over. I'm looking at the transportation index down. Let me see here, 171. Pardon me, and I have a delayed system here in the studio.
Yeah, it's actually 172 now.
Okay, there you go. Do you watch this, and do you put your analysis on the transportation index?
I follow the transports like a hawk. In fact, we were short the IYT, which is transport ETF, and we covered. We closed out the put position today. So I ultimately think it is headed lower. I have the transports going down, the Dow Jones Transportation Average going down to around 77.25 before there's any meaningful bounce.
Okay, all right. The S&P market is rolled over. Nobody can call it a bear market now or what the depth is, but I'd like to get your thoughts on what's going to happen next with this and how people can protect themselves from getting really hurt with their portfolios.
Yeah, sure. Right now, I think we have probably a little bit of a minor top in the S&P 500. I don't think it's a major top yet. Major top's still coming for the second half. It's coming in the second half of the year. But right now we have a minor top. It's just a little movie trailer of what we're going to see in the second half. Expect lower prices ahead. I would not rule out a move down on the S&P to around 1880, 1875 on the S&P 500 cash index.
Okay. Are you thinking, because I've had some people come on the show and say, hey, this could be the high for the year. Maybe the next move will be a retest. I don't know. Any thoughts on that, and also potential length of move of the bear trend? Yeah,
sure. Right now, it's hard to say if it's the high for the year because we've been through this drill so many times where you get a 3-4 day sell-off and the market goes into light volume levitation and rallies up to new highs. So it's difficult to say that, but I do think that ultimately we're getting set for a high. Usually when you make a market top, you'll get some type of retest or a lower high, and that usually will set up the next leg down. But, it's a little bit early and a little bit premature for me to say that this is the final high right now. I think ultimately the market will tell us what to do via the pattern that it makes on the charts.
Got it. All right, we got to go, but before we do, please give us an address so people can get into your trading room and watch you pull these trades off.
Come on over to InTheMoneyStocks.com. Take out a 7-day free trial to our research center. That's geared for people that work a 9-to-5 job. We'll send text alerts out to everybody. We'll send email alerts. We'll tell you all of our positions as we get in them. Also, you come over to our intraday stock chat. You'll see everything that we're doing each and every day. You could trade right along with us side by side and watch our desktop. It's a fantastic value, and again, we offer a 7-day free trial for that as well.
Nick, thanks so much for keeping us on the right side of the market.
Thank you, Michael, for having me. Have a great day.
You too. Nick Santiago, President, CEO, InTheMoneyStocks.com. This segment brought to you by InTheMoneyStocks.com. On the other side of this break, when we